Well, hello Indie people, I hope you're doing okay. Now, firstly, I've not uploaded a proper video in 2-3 weeks. I've been feeling overwhelmed, that's basically the gist of the story, but today I really wanted to try to help people, especially during this period of self-isolation, by just talking about some things that we can do, not only as individuals, but as a community of people. Especially if you're on the spectrum, I think some of these will definitely be helpful going forward. But the first thing I wanted to talk about today is keeping in contact with friends and family. Now, this is such a first world thing that I shouldn't really need to say to you, oh, you should keep in contact with friends and family. However, because this is a situation that is unknown and people don't really know how long this is going to go on for, it's important to try and stay in contact with friends, family, acquaintances, by any means necessary. Whether that is just sending a text, whether that's giving someone a call, a video call. And to be honest, for me, I'm someone that does struggle with social communication. I'm not very sociable because it's just overwhelming and it's just hard to keep in touch with everyone's social life and the social drama and things that do happen. I feel like I'm gonna miss that daily interaction of actually seeing people, seeing new people just out and about. And also for me, it's been really interesting this period because I've been talking to my family a lot more on the phone. It just made me also realize that I take a lot of things for granted, and I just think during this moment of self-isolation, we can't see our family, we can't see our friends. It's just important to stay connected as best we can, not only for our own benefit, but for other people's benefit. Now, next tip is all to do with working from home. Now, I've never worked from home in my life. It's been so weird to me, having a printer down there printing stuff off that I would normally do in an office. For me, I find it difficult, merging worlds. Now, this might sound a little bit strange, but I like to have different things in separate places. So I have my home life with my family, I have Nicola, I have work, I have friends. They're all kind of separated out. And it's very rare that I feel able to intermingle them. It's just something I've always found difficult, but because of the situation, I'm doing my admin job in this room with a printer down there, and it's all very, very strange. Having a work area just to allow me to focus on my job is just really important, but it's also important to try and distinguish areas, keeping some areas separate for separate things, because for me, like I say, I find it difficult intermingling things. I like keeping things separate. So for me, when I come in here, this is my workspace or my YouTube space. It's a place where I work, to do my work, to email, do phone calls, all of these different things. However, when it comes to going downstairs in the living room, that is where I chill out. That is where I just lavish my illustrious body on the couch and just chill out, and I don't have to worry about work stuff. It's just important, I think, especially if you're autistic, to try and have places where it has a designated purpose, I think. But also the other thing about working from home, which has really helped me today, actually, filming this video, I'm filming this on Monday the 23rd of March, is actually wearing the clothes that I would normally wear to work. So I tried this out today and it made me feel so much more productive. I felt like I was actually at work, so I had to, do the work. And it was just really, really good. It made me feel like I was at work, even though it's in the house. And I think during these times of self-isolation as well, I think trying to keep as normal of a routine as you can is super important. Even though it's gonna change, of course it's gonna change because of the situation, trying to keep a sense of normality, where we can, I think is incredibly important. Now, the next tip when it comes to self-isolation, I think it's important to create a schedule. Now, for autistic people like myself, a lot of us thrive on routine, structure, all of that sweet stuff. So creating a schedule in the home, if you're home working, create a schedule of when you're working, when you're taking breaks, those sorts of things can really, really help, especially during this transition period when there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing, which was me last week. I didn't know what was happening. But when you're home working, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So creating a schedule, a new schedule that you can do at home because of the self-isolation, I think will help people, help you, help your child, help the adult that you know, just during this transition period. And who knows, you know, you might create this new structure, this new routine, and they might adopt that into their routine once this is all over. You know, it might actually be a good thing in the long run, but definitely creating a sense of structure and routine, I think, is incredibly important, especially in these times of uncertainty and worry, and we don't know what's happening really. Just trying to create that familiarity, like I say, it really, really does help. But as well as having a structure, I think if someone is really struggling with everything that's going on, they don't understand what's happening and why it's happening, what I've been seeing a lot more, especially in the autism community, is social stories. You know, just explaining what's happening, what we need to do, and you know, how other people can help. All of these amazing things. It's been absolutely brilliant seeing, you know, people putting out social stories on what's happening, why it's happening. And I just think for kids or people who just don't understand what's happening, I think it's a really, really great way just to put that message across. And also it informs people. Now, next tip for this period of self-isolation: set aside a time to do the things that you've always wanted to do, or do new things. Now, for me, what I've noticed is people are doing things that they didn't have the time for, they couldn't do, but they've actually had the time to learn. So people are reading more, people are doing art, painting, all of these amazing creative things. During this time of self-isolation, I think it's important that we try these new things, or try to do something that we've always wanted to do but we never had the time to do. So maybe during the week when you're creating this new schedule, maybe set some time aside to read a book, for example, or look up something that you've always wanted to look up, or try something new, maybe learn the language, maybe do art. Or if you're into watching YouTube, especially autism related YouTube content, maybe try to look at other creators, maybe try look at other people's content. Actually, speaking about autistic YouTubers, I'll leave some suggestions down below, and you know, maybe because of this video you might find someone that you really, really love watching. Now, another thing I'm going to throw in here is try to consume less news, whether it's on your TV, whether it's on social media like your Facebooks, your Twitters, because every time I've gone into social media, especially in the last 2 weeks, it's just been about the current situation. Now, obviously, I know people are scared, I know people are fearful and trying to share information. However, I think, you know, if you're watching the news constantly, seeing how many cases there are and all of these things, you just become fixated on it. And I personally feel when it comes to self-isolation and you're not seeing other people and you're only fixating on this thing that is happening, it's really, really draining, I feel. I think the main thing with this one is it's important to obviously be mindful. I'm not saying do not watch the news, but try to restrict the time you spend looking at news on the situation at hand. But if you want any more tips, advice, anything at all, and you're on the spectrum or you know someone that is, I highly, I can't recommend this blog enough, from James from Autistic and Unapologetic. It'll be the first link that you come to. Honestly, read it. It made me feel so much calmer about the situation, and it put things in a way that I could understand. So if you are still fearful, still worrying, you know, and you're uncertain, definitely read that blog. And while you're over there, definitely check out the rest of his stuff. Honestly, I can't recommend James enough. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up for me. Check out my other videos. You know, there's a ton of other videos just like this on my channel, so definitely have a look. But for now, stay you, stay indie. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you next time.